This is a Frank podcast.
Hello, kia ora, and welcome to the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris, and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. First up, before we tease what's on the show today, though, I need to acknowledge that there's only one other voice here, isn't there?
Yes. Imagine if I kept that voice for the entire show, just as a bit of a gag.
Oh, that'd be so funny, bro.
No, it's just me, Chris. Sorry to those hundreds of fans of Guy.
Probably
he's not here today because he's had a pretty up and down couple of weeks. A lot going on for the ECG fam at the moment.
Yeah.
But don't just take it from us. Here is a clip of him explaining why he's not here today.
G'day team, sorry that I can't make it to the recording tonight. I am just off the back of, and you're going to need a beep here, producer Sam, the worst 24 hours of my life. Good Lord. Yesterday I woke up with intense stomach pains, crawling around on the floor, could barely move or eat anything. Went to the hospital, they ran tests and x-rays and all sorts and ultrasounds, and they couldn't really find a cause for it, but they did find polyps on one of my organs, so I should get that checked out. So I was in the hospital all day, and my wife was looking after our daughter, so I took my daughter and my dog for a walk when I got home. And then 2 minutes into the walk, a dog jumped a fence and ran across the road and viciously attacked my dog Nala and cut her up. And there's screaming and squealing and yelping. And then my daughter's pram got knocked over, so she's crying and I'm screaming at the owner. And there's gang affiliation at the house. It's all fun. It's all part of the tapestry of fun. So I had to take my dog to the emergency vet. She gets all stitched up. $700 later. And then in the middle of the night, she's yelping and screaming and shaking. So I had to take her to the vet again, and she had to stay there overnight. She had to have exploratory procedures and picked her up today. So we're about $2,000 down on vet bills. And yeah, so it's been guys, sorry, another beep. So I'm just spending some time with my family tonight, but I will be back next week. I'll be playing Helldivers 2 this week because some shit's about to go down. The automatons are gone, but something else is coming. I can just feel it, so I'll be dropping that. And I'm real close to clocking Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Cyberpunk 2077. I'm fully into those two games, playing them simultaneously, one in each hand, and really getting into it, the lore of it all. So I'll see you tomorrow. No, next week. Bye.
We've got no time left for the rest of the podcast, so have a good week. And
Okay. I'm going to make a joke here. Guy told us he was going to make this one way shorter than the last one, but then he doubled the length of it. But also, what? I don't know, he had polyps on one of his organs.
No, this is news to me.
He didn't tell us that in the group chat.
No, that was quite a graphic voice message. I feel like we needed a trigger warning before this.
I know. Don't just drop a polyp bomb on us. By the way, I hope everything's all good. Sorry to hear about all that stuff, Guy. The part he also didn't mention is he's actually been sick for like a week and a half, and his voice and stuff hasn't gotten better.
Yeah.
As soon as he left our last podcast, he started feeling really bad and he thought it might be COVID or whatever, and it hasn't actually improved since.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, his voice sounds terrible. His nose is still blocked. So he's been in the wars for the past week.
Yeah, so hence why he's not here tonight. We wish you well, Guy, and have a good life, because we're now probably going to have Cousin Beck on the podcast, I think, from now on.
Oh, my God, is that a reality?
Shall we do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love Ellie's cousin. For those just joining us, Ellie's cousin Beck is actually probably the proper gamer. She's not casual at all. She knows everything.
Yeah.
And she'd be a great replacement for Guy.
She would. So we'll get that in writing. And all jokes aside, we hope you're all good, Guy. So it's just Chris and I today, and on the show we are chatting about portable gaming consoles. What's the best for you? What's the comparison? What are the differences?
That's right.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, stay tuned.
Ellie's got a couple of the heavy hitters on the market at the moment.
Yeah, mate.
I've got a couple of alternatives if you want to go down the alternative route as well for handheld stuff. And then I will be chatting about polyps. And just different places you can get polyps, and whether it's okay or not to just drop a polyp bomb on your podcast buddies.
And then what else are you talking about?
Then after that, that'll be about, 30 minutes. And then after that, I had a great topic lined up, and I'm going to do that next week, all right?
Yes,
So
I'm looking
next
forward
week,
to that one.
when I do my topic, you'll know it, and you'll go, oh, that's the topic that Chris was going to do. This week, I have had something that has happened to me over the weekend, which has completely changed. even if Guy was here, I was going to push that topic back.
Oh, okay.
Because what has happened to me over the weekend, and it involves a TV show and a new game that I've started playing. Oh. It is life-changing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's seriously, it has changed. Yeah, I'll get into it later.
Okay, well, now I've been teased and I want to hear more.
That's a hell of a tease. Yeah, I know.
All right, well, to begin with, should we get to some listener feedback? Nice. Now you can contribute to the show. No, that's not right. Extremely Casual Gamers podcast on Instagram. Just call me Chris. Chris doesn't usually know the handle if you've just joined. And we've also got a Facebook group, ECG, number 4 ECG. It's Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers if you want to participate in these chats. First of all, though, I want to start off by announcing the MLB The Show 24 winner.
Oh, that's right. 2 winners. Hey, two codes.
Yeah. So it's tag a friend. So this person and then their friend they tag is going to win the codes. Last week we put an Instagram photo up. You just had to comment, tag a mate, and you're both in the draw to win this game. And so the winner of the MLB The Show 24 is Brad Poyser. I hope I'm saying your last name right there, Brad.
Brad Poyser. And whoever you tagged, your mate that you tagged, you guys will both be hitting dingers on MLB 2024 courtesy of ECG.
Yes.
I just completely forgot the name of our podcast there.
Did you?
God, I'm a shocker, eh? What is wrong with my brain? Is this because of playing too many video games?
Maybe it is. So congrats, Brad. Thank you for everyone who entered that comp, and hopefully we'll have some more games to give away at some point.
Yeah, we actually have a giveaway on next week's podcast. It's not a game, but it's a game-related object, which I'll explain. Even Ellie's confused as to what this is. Don't worry. Next week it'll all be revealed. There'll be a giveaway.
Oh,
it's going to be very exciting.
I think I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Also, just wanted to say a couple of welcomes to some new listeners who have come in. First of all, Jared Bryant, welcome. He's on episode 8, and he's already been inspired to start playing The Witcher again. You'd be pleased to know, Chris?
Shout out to my Witcher brother.
Yeah.
I love this because for a long while there, I realized, because The Witcher is such a long game, I realized that I'd been banging on about The Witcher for so long. It spanned quite a few episodes.
It did.
So people keep messaging me on Instagram about The Witcher, which I love. And I'm just like, wow, I must have been going on about The Witcher a lot.
Yeah, you did a little bit in those early days. That's all right. You're inspiring people, so it's all right. I also want to say welcome to Tony Moore, who he is 50 years old today, actually.
Tony, Big
what
Tony.
you doing, man? Happy birthday. He messaged us and said that we've inspired him to buy a PS5.
Oh, good on you, Tony.
He's bought a PS5 and he's currently playing Gran Turismo 7.
Great. So he's a car fan just like me. Get amongst Tony, mate. That's bloody excellent. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, mate. Joshua Moody came into the ECG for ECG group. He said a few things, but this one stuck out. Josh said, my partner's mum is 50-something, and smashes the PlayStation. We gave her Dark Souls 3 as a joke, and she finished it.
Oh, my God. Whoever your partner is, you marry her, because my mother-in-law completing Dark Souls. Are you serious?
Yeah, I can't even fathom that. That's amazing.
That is incredible. That's a famously very hard game.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, good on her.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you to Paul Askew, who has started up the weekly debriefs after each episode in the ECG for ECG group. So I think every week he's going to be going, what's the thoughts, guys, on the latest ep? So,
actually, Paul, for this week's debrief, do we need Guy? Maybe start a poll.
Yes.
I don't care if he's got pops. Sorry. No, I feel terrible now. No, Guy's staying.
Poor Guy. We also had another one who's joined the potty in the last week called, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, but Arne Brew.
Spelt?
Arne. They're from Denmark. So
Arne, yeah.
Maybe Arne, yeah. Welcome. And they've actually sent us an audio clip. So producer Sam.
Hello guys, greetings from Denmark. My name is Arnie. I really enjoy your podcast so far. Apparently I'm a casual gamer as well, considering your standards of extremely casual gamers, which is fantastic, because I do not have time to play 10 hours a day anymore. I used to play a lot of DayZ standalone, a survival game. So basically my suggestion is for people that are in my kind of situation is to go in and check the new mod for Battle Royale, DayZ Battle Royale. Battle Royale, this is this new kind of concept. I don't know if you've heard about it. Anyway, check it out. Bye-bye from Denmark.
Aw,
That was excellent.
Yeah.
All the way from Denmark. Was it Denmark where we looked at our ratings early doors and it was like, you have one listener in Denmark?
I think, was that Finland? Maybe
Finland,
not.
yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got 2 up in that sort of area of the world, so
Yeah.
that's very exciting.
Yeah, so thank you for your audio clip and for that advice as well.
So DayZ, there's a new Battle Royale mode, so get amongst, yeah.
Get amongst. Alice Wright messaged us and said that Cyberpunk, speaking of Cyberpunk, Chris, you're playing at the moment, you want to play it. Cyberpunk is my GOAT game, and I've played through 3 times, but on my first run through, I had no idea what they were talking about for the first 10 hours, so she totally understands your hesitation.
So who was this, sorry?
This is Alice Wright.
Alice. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned for my subject later in this podcast because it is about Cyberpunk and the life-changing experience I've had over the weekend.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Matt DeCo messaged us soundtracks. Matt's actually a mate of mine, just another mate that I've
Oh my God,
lured
Ellie,
into-
you've got to stop paying your friends to listen. And now they're commenting.
Yeah, they are. He messaged us about the soundtracks. We were talking about soundtracks last week.
Iconic
of games.
soundtracks, yeah.
Yeah, he said, I've been an avid lover of RuneScape and found myself returning yearly to feel that nostalgic feeling. He wanted to mention the soundtracks as they're worthy of credit. Each and every zone has their own soundtrack produced by the he's going to laugh at me trying to say this, it's the developers, JGX Orchestra.
Why do you keep picking all these things that are really hard to say?
Don't know.
It's like the 6th one on the podcast.
I can't read. I just can't read. No, thank you for your feedback there, Betty.
And just once again to reiterate, we would love to do a topic on iconic soundtracks, but on a podcast, it just gets pulled straight away as soon as you use even a second of commercial music. But I love that too, and this is going to sound super cool, by the way, so just prepare yourself for this.
Oh my gosh, wow.
My mate Sam got myself and another couple of mates around to his house to play this 6-hour-long zoo board game.
Oh.
Right? It's called Ark Nova.
Okay.
And you all sit around on this big table and he had whiskey and we had beers and stuff and we sat down, we played this full-on zoo board game, and the whole time we were playing it, I fired up Zoo Tycoon 2 music on loop on the TV. Oh. And so we were listening, and it's the same thing. It's like a soundtrack from when I was like 14, 13 playing computer games. Oh. And that was just on loop, and me and the fellas were loving it.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a bit of advice. Just cue your old soundtracks while you're playing a board game, and it makes it feel like you're
it makes
in a
it
video
feel
game.
awesome. Yeah. And so if you're playing like some sort of, I don't know, medieval game, you get the Age of Empires soundtrack going, it's great.
Very nice. All right, well, thank you for your list of feedback. As per, we always love hearing from you. Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast on Instagram and ECG for ECG on Facebook if you want to join our private group. It's time for a bit of gaming news.
Oh, you mean gaming news? Gaming news. Mario is dead.
What?
On the 3DS. Oh what? Sorry.
This is where you don't put pauses in, eh?
Yeah. I like to put an awkward pause in. The 3DS, the Nintendo handheld 3DS, is officially being shut down all the online servers. Oh. So if you're playing any online games, and this handheld is quite old. Like, it's really old. It's over 10 years old.
Yeah.
They've officially pulled pin on all the online servers, and the reason I thought this was interesting, side note, the Wii U is also having the plug pulled as well. The reason I thought this was interesting is because this is one thing you don't think about when it comes to that argument between physical media and digital. Remember ages ago you had the judge's wig on. We need to bring back Gamer Court. Oh my God.
Oh, we do. We've done that in ages.
I just remembered about that. You had the judge's wig on, which is just really funny if you're listening to a podcast seeing Ellie in a wig. Guy was arguing for digital versions of games. I was arguing for physical.
Yes.
Preserving games. So games that are only available digitally in 20 years' time, the servers and stuff, the shops that sell them are going to have the plug pulled and you will no longer be able to get those games.
Yes, good point.
And a lot of them that are like always online, you will no longer be able to use any of those features because they're not going to pay to maintain those servers.
True.
So while it's not a massive deal, the 3DS having its plug pulled, it's just an interesting thing to think about. 10 years down the track, you won't be able to play a lot of those digital games that you've invested in.
Yeah, so I guess, are you still trying to argue your point from about 4 months ago, saying that physical copies are better?
Yeah, I think it was actually last year.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah,
and you've chosen the episode when Guy's not here.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, it's a real dog
All right,
act.
case closed, bro. You win.
Yeah, take that, Guy. Right. Oh, just quickly before we move on.
Yes.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
A lot of games on the 3DS. You can so there's a thing called Pokemon Bank, and I don't have this, where you can get all your Pokemon games of all the different generations, send them to Pokemon Bank, which is like an online thing, and then you can transfer them. So basically, your Pokemon from 20 years ago, you can still have sent to a modern version using the internet and still have all your Pokemon from over all the years.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, that is still going to be working with 3DS Pokemon games because that's actually hosted by Game Freak, who make Pokemon. So there'll be certain games where the developer actually hosts the server, but anything that Nintendo themselves were hosting, they've pulled the pin.
Oh, I understand.
So, a few little games here and there might still be. Yeah. So anyway, what is it? Article 2 in gaming news. Castlevania First Edition copy of a Nintendo Entertainment System sells for heaps.
Heaps?
Yeah,
Really?
by the way, I don't know if anyone, long-time listeners, I've stopped doing the funny headlines. I can't be bothered thinking of them. They are so taxing. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, they're hard. They are.
This may or may not be the most expensive video game to ever sell on eBay.
Oh.
And it happened within the last week.
Why was it so expensive?
So the reason it was so expensive is because it was a boxed, which means it still had its box, its manual, all that sort of stuff, unopened box.
Oh,
so it has never been opened. It left the factory and had never been opened. Copy of a 1986 NES game, Castlevania, first edition, and it was part of the sort of the serial number on and stuff as part of the very first run of Castlevania games that ever came out.
Wow, cool.
So it's literally like a hot off the press as soon as the game was invented, and it was one of the first ones made, unopened from the store, and the game is 38 years old.
Whoa. Is this a game that someone has sold, or is it the actual developers that have sold it?
No, the developers haven't sold it. So it was an auction, the estate of a video game collector. I think it was in Texas. This person obviously bought it brand new, never sold it, never opened it, had it on their shelf, sadly passed away. So they're auctioning all the stuff off. Do you want to guess the price? And don't go too high because then it'll make the price not as exciting. But the price that they bought this particular NES game for. Okay,
and is it USD? I'm quoting you in right now. USD. Okay, I reckon that has sold for $800 USD.
$800, really? The most expensive video game ever sold on eBay. $800 USD. Now up that.
Okay. We're gonna go $2,000.
$2,000 up that.
Oh, $5,000?
Up that.
Oh, $10,000?
Up that. Here's a hint. The reserve was set at $37,000 US.
Oh, right. So I'm way off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I'm worried you're gonna go too high now.
Yeah, no, I'm scared too. $80K?
Close.
Oh, okay. Up or down?
Up.
Okay.
Is it still fun? Is it still fun?
Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
85,000.
Up.
Oh, 90.
90,100 US dollars.
Whoa. Oh my God.
And the fact that it's 90,100 makes me think that the one guy bid at 90,000, the other guy was like 90,100, and that first guy was like, oh, I just can't do it. That's everything I've got. I don't even spare 200. Yeah. So
wow.
90,000. So according to experts that witnessed the auction, they have then said he could instantly say, this guy's a collector, the guy that bought it.
Yeah.
He could instantly put that up online and say, I have this. They're calling it the holy grail of Castlevania NES purchases. They're saying it's the holy grail, apparently, of video game collecting.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay.
Now that people know that he has this, they reckon in a week, if he wanted to, he could sell it for 250,000 US.
Oh my gosh. So it could just be bounced around.
Straight away.
Up to $1 million, maybe.
And that's because in the last few years, there has been a massive boom in retro video games.
Yeah, right.
So, and this explains why I couldn't get my hands on any freaking Pokemon Game Boy games, because they're all so expensive. So if you have got your old, not quite Nintendo 64, that era, but if you've got your Nintendo Entertainment System, any of those old games, your Game Boy games, things like that, if they're still in good condition, just keep them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are going to be worth a lot of money.
Wow. There you go, eh? Physical copies are always better, am I right? We're coming back to that.
Yeah, guy, download that. Anyway, that's the end of gaming news.
We're talking portable consoles.
Oh, yeah?
Did I know that? Yeah, cool. First of all, I've really been interested in the old portable thing recently because mainly you, Chris, have kind of reinvigorated the whole portable thing with your Game Boy Advance that you restored.
That's right, yeah. So a lot of Game Boy chat, and to be honest, it's something that I had never been interested in. I don't have a Nintendo Switch because I like to sit home on the couch, play PlayStation, veg out. But it's the whole playing it on airplanes, on the bus, wherever you're waiting for something.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Exactly. So I thought we could do a little chat today. If you're thinking about maybe getting a portable gaming device and you're not really sure what you want, we're not going to go through all of them because there's a lot. We're specifically going to be chatting Steam Deck, PlayStation Portal, and Chris, you got a couple you want to chat about
I got a couple
as well.
alternatives.
Sweet.
And also you might be thinking, obviously the Nintendo Switch is the most obvious. The Switch 2 is coming out either the end of this year or next year now. So that's the next one of those is coming out soon.
Yeah.
So my thing is don't buy the Nintendo Switch. Wait for the Switch 2.
Yeah, nice. Good advice. Good advice. Yeah, I'm not covering Nintendo Switch because to me, I feel like Nintendo Switch is a really sturdy, reliable, portable gaming device. Like if you want that, get the Nintendo Switch. It's awesome. But I'm more talking today about like what's the difference between a Steam Deck and a PlayStation Portal, for example.
And hardware-wise, Nintendo's on their own buzz, man. They're making like real low-power games and doing their own thing.
Yeah.
The two that I think you've got are sort of the two upper end.
Yeah.
The best graphics, etc.
Totally. So first of all, the Steam Deck is essentially a little portable gaming device, and you can play games off Steam on it. So it's like having a PC in your hand.
That's right. It's a handheld PC. It's made by Valve, who is the company that actually created Steam and is running Steam. For a long time, you couldn't actually get one, but now in New Zealand, just looking, you can actually get a Steam Deck for 1,800 New Zealand dollars.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not too bad if you really want to focus on just the portable gaming. Steam Deck, cool. Yeah. Awesome. But and then there's PlayStation Portal, which we've actually spoken about on this podcast before, but this is more of a remote play that
you
basically
have to have a PS5 as well.
Yeah, it's a companion thing essentially. But the Steam Deck, you could just have that. You don't need a PC. You don't need to have your games installed elsewhere. It is a gaming device in your hand. It has its own hard drive. You can download games, play offline, all that. Whereas the PlayStation Portal, you've got to obviously connect to the internet.
Yes.
Now, I wondered if I was going to go get a gaming device portable, what would I want? And we've had I looked on Reddit because I actually find Reddit quite a good place to like get real life kind of comments about stuff. And again, it depends on what you want. Basically, I found that the Steam Deck and the PlayStation Portal are kind of two different things.
Completely.
I kind of went to it going, I wonder if there's one or the other's better, but really it depends on what you want. So I guess I'll just start off with the specs. So PlayStation Portal, remote play directly from your PS5. You need internet. It has plug-in for your headphones, no Bluetooth. And apparently it's got better ergonomics and haptics than the Steam Deck. It's a better feel.
It looks cooler too, I think, the PlayStation Portal.
It does. We've got, do you want to do the stats of your ones versus my ones now? Or do we just do
I might do that afterwards.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. So in short, the two devices are completely different.
How much is the PlayStation Portal in New Zealand? Apologies for international listeners.
So the PlayStation Portal is $380 New Zealand dollars.
So that's cheap, right?
Yeah, it's
so people
pretty
are
cheap.
like, well, I already know which one I'm getting.
Yeah.
However, you have to add in the price of a PlayStation 5, which you have to have at home. So that drives it up to almost $1,100 and something dollars New Zealand.
Pretty much, yeah. And so you got $1,800 New Zealand dollars for the Steam Deck, and that's got the OLED screen and the 1 terabyte storage.
Yeah.
Well, they've also got the LCD screen at $1,300 with 256
Oh,
gigs.
wow.
Yeah.
So you
they
can
do
get an
the-
entry level one.
You can, yeah. They also had like they had 512 gigabytes as well as 164, I think, but they've just discontinued those. So you can now only get the 256 for the LCD version.
Right.
But the OLED's 1 terabyte. And that, so 1,800, 1,300 or 380 for the PlayStation Portal. But again, you need the PlayStation to actually play it. If you're a PlayStation person and you genuinely just want to play your PlayStation games portably.
Play your PlayStation games portably.
Play your PlayStation games portably.
Yeah.
Then the PlayStation Portal is probably the right one for you. In saying that, you can actually remote play through your PS5 on a Steam Deck, but it's using a plugin that's not an official Sony or Valve plugin.
Right.
It's called Shiaki. I think that's how you say it.
Right.
Shiaki. So you can actually remote play, but again, there's a little bit of a lag. The latency's not as good. So if you're a PlayStation person, you want the PlayStation Portal. That's what you want.
If you're and we did talk about this a few episodes back now. If you are a PlayStation person who wants to and will be connected to the internet while you're doing this, I can't really think of many examples of when you'd want to do this, but you're connected to the internet. Your PlayStation Portal has got great connection because it needs it in order to stream in high quality.
Yeah.
And maybe you want to have a bath and play Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Perfect.
Go for that. The Steam Deck in my brain, though, is almost you don't have a PC. You just get the Steam Deck.
Exactly.
Because it has the PC power. So, for example, you can download every game that's available on Steam, which is 1 billion times more than that's what's on offer on the PlayStation Store. Mm-hmm. It's everything. You can get literally every computer game is available on Steam.
Yeah.
You can download that straight onto your device, play that wherever you are with internet, without internet, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it is very much two different devices.
It is. It really is. This is what I found out when I researched today. Also with the Steam Deck, you can add a micro SD card or you can upgrade the SSD. So you can get like 1 terabyte micro SDs now apparently.
I've upgraded the SSD in my PlayStation 5. There was a bit of chat about this on our Facebook group actually. As soon as I got my PlayStation 5, I also bought a SSD which you had to open the console up, slide it into the port, which is ready to go. But now I think you can actually get 2 terabyte or even 3.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
The fact that Steam has made it upgradable is excellent. And this is an SSD, by the way. It's not a little microchip thing that you're picturing. If you are a storage card thing.
Yeah.
It's an SSD. It's a big thing like this.
Yes, you can upgrade the SSD, but you can also put a micro SD into the Steam Deck. Yeah, if you do just want to have a little micro SD, you can do that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options.
You could almost go for the cheap one and then just save up and increase the storage yourself later.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Totally. The only time you really need internet on a Steam Deck is if the game itself requires internet, obviously, or to download the games. But if you want to be on a flight and you had a game downloaded, you can play that. Whereas on the PS Portal, you can't do that on the plane, which is where I personally would probably want to play my games.
I think I'm picturing on the airplane is like my sort of base area for whenever I'm doing a portable gaming. It's on the airplane, can I play it?
Yeah, exactly.
And with the PlayStation Portal, it's no.
No, exactly. A lot of people on Reddit were saying that if they're a PlayStation person, the Portal is just a lot better graphics. It's just a nicer feel.
So let's just say you will use Cyberpunk 2077 as an example. If you're playing Cyberpunk on your PS Portal, it is going to look way better because it is streaming.
Yes.
It is not having to load it itself. The Steam Deck can run Cyberpunk, but it is going to be on dialed down settings and stuff, so it will look worse. Yeah. But that is playing natively off the actual device itself.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And someone on Reddit actually said, in their opinion, the Steam Deck struggles with newer AAA games.
Of course it would,
because of all of the graphics and intensity behind that. But it's good for smaller indie games. Someone said, I'm partial, but I would still go for the Steam Deck as it can do what the Portal does plus more. You can still stream your PS5 games to the deck.
I think I would go Steam Deck and not play AAA wide open world ridiculous games.
Yeah, I'd use my PlayStation for that, right?
Yeah, I'd play games that are a few years old now that it could easily handle, and then I'd take that on the airplane with me.
Yeah, exactly right. Should we get into some more stats then?
Sure. Do you want me to provide? Because I've got 2 alternatives.
Yeah. What are you chatting about?
Okay, so how much was the Steam Deck? Like the cheapest one's $1,300. Yeah. The PS Portal, you need a PlayStation 5 as well, so that's about $1,100.
Yeah.
First option, $150 off Trade Me.
Oh, what's that one? Is that
Game Boy Advance?
You were going to say that.
Look, I just want to provide options for everyone.
No, it's good. Affordable. Yeah, we're inclusive here.
So you're looking at your handheld game, you're like, which one should I get? You get the Game Boy Advance off Trade Me, or in the States, if you're on eBay, about $80 US.
Oh, yeah.
You get a good condition Game Boy.
Yeah, man.
You might then spend $80 New Zealand on a flash cart, which is a thing that you can put as many games as you want on. All of a sudden, and I've got this on my Game Boy, you've got every Game Boy Advance game ever made you can now play in your hands, no drama.
Amazing.
Okay, so that's one option. So just quickly, the screen size on a Steam Deck, how big is it?
It's 7-inch screen on the old Steam Deck.
Okay, so this is 2.9 inches.
Oh, that's quite small, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very small little Game Boy Advance screen. What's the battery life?
The battery life on the Steam Deck it says between 2 to 8 hours. This is on the LCD ones. That's the lowest spec one.
Of course, depending on what games you're playing, how taxing they are.
Exactly. And then the Steam Deck OLED lasts between 3 to 12 hours.
Right, okay.
It's got a larger battery, but it also has better power efficiency.
And you can charge it, right? Whereas 15 hours of battery life you're going to get from a Game Boy Advance, but you got to replace them AA's afterwards. Yeah. So it's a bit of a give and take there. Yeah. How much RAM has the Steam Deck got?
The Steam Deck's got 16 gigs of RAM.
16 gigs?
Yeah, / quad 32-bit channels, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh, God. Okay. The Game Boy Advance has 256 kilobytes of RAM.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
And I know this from my LimeWire days, that's like 10 seconds of a song.
Oh, my gosh.
In MP3 format. So
oh my gosh,
that is nothing.
No.
Second option, though. Here's another alternative option.
Okay.
All right. Get around this, Ellie.
All right.
$120 if you want an OG one.
Oh.
$40 New Zealand brand new.
What is it, a mobile phone?
Tamagotchi.
Oh, yes, mean.
Get yourself a fat Tamagotchi, chuck it on your key ring.
They're quite in now.
They're very
they've
in it.
come back.
And they are back, and they've made. They're now actually producing modern versions of the original Tamagotchis.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, like as I said, you want the OG one? Go and trade me $120, maybe $150 if it's one from the actual 90s.
Yeah.
But you can get a brand new one. I think I saw on Mighty 8 for $40.
Wow.
Which is pretty sick.
Awesome.
Screen size. What was yours? Like 7?
Yeah, 7-inch for Steam Deck, 8-inch for the PlayStation Portal.
This is 1.5 inches.
Oh, yeah.
So it's even smaller.
Yeah, it's quite small. We need a little microscope. For
RAM,
that.
128 kilobytes, so even less than the Game Boy.
Oh, wow, even smaller.
Battery life, 72 hours.
Oh, see, I'm going home with the Tamagotchi. That's great. No
Exactly.
charging needed, mate. Yeah.
So you could get yourself, theoretically, if you went for new Tamagotchis, you could get yourself You get yourself almost 30 Tamagotchis for the same price as a PS Portal and a PS5.
Yeah, wow.
So, look, if you want to look after 40 Tamagotchis at once, I mean, it'll be a handful.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of admin.
But, that's basically what you could spend your money on.
Oh, nice.
I just wanted a couple other options,
Yeah, no, fair enough. I like those options you brought to the table today. Overall, though, Steam Deck, PlayStation Portal, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. Like they're two different things.
I hope you're not saying that this whole segment was a waste of time.
That's pretty much a waste of time.
That's why we're called Extremely Casual Gamers. Okay, I had one of the greatest gaming experiences of my life over the weekend.
Wow, I feel like you've had a lot of good gaming experiences from the time I've known you.
Magnificent
This
ones.
is a big thing for you to say.
And as we mentioned earlier, The Witcher 3, I'll happily go on record and say that is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red, they made it. I've played it through 4 times since I got it day one. It came out in 2015, which is 9 years ago now.
Whoa.
And so I've played every 2 years. I'll get it out and play it again just because I love it so much. So
Nice.
they made a new game a couple of years ago, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst releases in video game history.
Yeah.
It came out like they overpromised what it would be able to do. They said it would work on old platforms like PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series S. Once it was released, it basically was unplayable.
Yeah.
Even on PlayStation 5, pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
On PC, if you had it cranked up to the top, okay, but still terrible.
Yeah.
Famously one of the worst launches ever. However, I love CD Projekt Red so much that I said, I'm not even going to touch it
Yeah.
for 2 years
Yep.
because I don't want to tarnish their reputation in my own brain.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to play The Witcher again. So I did that. I played The Witcher again. And this year I was given a copy of Cyberpunk 2077 by my wife as a gift,
Nice.
psyching myself up to play it because, to be honest, I just want to be a Witcher. I don't, I was just like, why did you guys do this? Like, I've watched the trailers and stuff. It looks kind of cool, I guess, but I'm not into it at all. Mm-hmm. What I did, though, and this is life-changing, and I recommend, even if you've played it already or if you're thinking about playing it, watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners
the TV
on
show.
Netflix. 10 episode, 20-minute, 10 episodes, 20-minute episodes as well.
Oh, so easily digestible.
Easy digestible.
Cool.
It is an anime that CD Projekt Red commissioned by a studio called Studio Trigger, who do like bombastic, over-the-top style anime. And they commissioned it to basically promote the fact that this game was out and get people that like watching anime hooked and think, I'd love to play the game.
Oh my gosh.
I don't watch anime. The last anime I watched was Dragon Ball Z when I was young.
Yeah.
Or Pokemon or something. Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I've watched an anime in a long time, and I'm like, oh God, put it on straight away. It is one of the most stylish, one of the most over-the-top action out there, adult themes, wee bit of nudity, like drug use, things like that. And that very much is the world of Cyberpunk. It is not a world where there's like happy endings and everyone's going to be okay. It is like a dystopian, effed up world.
Wow. Do you know when they made that? Like, when did they make that show?
2022.
Right, so it's like kind of
literally
new-ish.
the release same time as the game. It came out as a release strategy for the game.
Oh, I didn't
but the
even
game,
know that.
Exactly, but the game was so bad. In terms, not the game itself, but the state it was in when it was released was so bad that just overshadowed everything. Now, a lot of people watched Edge Runners, like a lot of people did, but I don't think the mainstream audience, people that would like Last of Us, the TV show, people that would like watching what's another one? Oh, the Witcher TV show. It's just mainstream audience that go, oh yeah, I could play this.
Yeah.
They need to watch this anime because I fell in love with all the characters. It was like emotionally, I shed some man tears.
Oh wow!
Seriously,
okay.
It was excellent. And as soon as the 10th episode finished, I had Cyberpunk installed, ready to go. I just turned my PlayStation on and straight away delved into the world.
So you were just like, there was no more hesitation, no more procrastination.
No.
You were just straight in.
Straight in there. And I was like, thank you, CD Projekt Red, for choosing this whole idea.
That's smart.
And honestly, I have never watched a TV show and then instantly jumped into the world so willingly and so keen.
That's such a great marketing strategy.
It was great. And it's almost sad that it was overshadowed by how bad the game was.
Yeah.
Because watching that anime and then straight away going into the game, I knew how everything worked.
Yeah.
I chose, there's 3 life choices to start the game, which is why I think Alice at the start of the show, she said she's played it 3 times. I bet she's chosen a different life choice starting.
Right.
I chose the same one that lines up with the character in the anime. And I was just like, I wanted these characters to be in the game.
Yeah.
They're not, because it's set as like its own thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But there are little hints to the anime in the game and stuff. And straight away I went in, I played it for 2 hours, I made my character, and it was one of the greatest starts to a video game I've ever had.
That's awesome.
It was sick.
So the TV show, is it like it's not a prologue, it's not a
No, it's set in the same
universe.
the exact same time and location. In fact, if you've played the game and you watch the anime, you'll be able to point out all the locations. And vice versa. Now that I've watched the anime while I'm playing the game, I will be able to point out. And they use a lot of, like, you hear in the anime, they reference characters that are in the game. So it's set at the same time.
That's awesome.
But it's not the same character as the video game, just so that they can have free reign to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. I loved the action so much that I instantly Googled anime similar to Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I'm now watching one from the 90s called Cowboy Bebop, which is like a real, and people that are into OG anime would like. And so I've started watching it because I love the action and the humor and
That's cool.
Excellent.
Wow, so that is the trick to getting into a game. I feel like that is what I need. I need like a pre-show to a game to get me attached to it before because I'm like you, I procrastinate. I'm like,
I just overthink. I'm like, oh God, it's going to be, I've got
Yeah.
so much to learn and, I don't know anything.
But now you just know it kind of by osmosis just by watching. And now you just,
and even Alice at the start said it took her 10 hours. She didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
As soon as I started, I knew what was going on.
That's awesome.
It was sick.
Oh my gosh.
I knew all the terminology, like they call the money is called eddies, which is euro dollars, like they've fused the euro and the American dollar. I knew what an eddy was because of the TV show. Like I knew all this stuff. I knew the big corporations because they're it was brilliant.
They need to do this more often.
Yes. Okay. So if you want to play The Witcher, you've never played it, watch season 1 and 2 of The Witcher show on Netflix, and you'll kind of get your head around it.
Yeah.
Watch The Last of Us TV show if you want to play The Last of Us, but you never have.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get into it.
Yeah.
And definitely watch Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners because it is fantastic.
Good to know. Do you know if there's any other? I know that obviously games have been made into TV shows and vice versa. TV shows made into games. But do you know if there's any other games that have done what Cyberpunk did or CD Projekt Red did?
Not with an anime, no.
Yeah.
At the simultaneous launch.
Yeah.
It's freaking brilliant.
That's genius, hey?
It is genius. Now, actually, if people could message us, Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast on Instagram and let me know other anime if you've seen that and you think, oh, you'd love this, Chris.
Yeah, nice.
That'd be cool. The first thing you have to do in Cyberpunk 2077, the game, though, is create your character. And people that have played it will know this. So you want to be a boy or a girl? And I was like, I don't know, I'll be a girl. It's just like, be a girl. Okay, cool. And then you're going down and you're like designing her, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, what genitals do you want?
Oh, so it's like inclusive, diverse, you can just do whatever you want. So there's
Yes.
no gender really.
No, it's like, do you want no genitals? In which case, every cutscene, for some reason, there must be cutscenes where you've got no pants on. You're just wearing like underwear. Or do you want a vagina? Are you keen on a vagina? And it's like, boom, a vagina. And you're like,
Oh, so it's really just all there in your face.
and I was like, it wasn't in my face. I was quite far back. But then it's like, do you want big boobs or small boobs and all this stuff? I'm like, what is this game? And they're standing there naked.
So you're actually
And you're choosing all this stuff.
So you're making the character not just for its clothes and facial
The
features,
whole
it's
thing.
your whole body.
And so I instantly was like, okay, I feel weird doing this. I'm going to go and make a guy. Just a guy that looks like me,
Yeah.
right? So quit out of the girl, I'm going to make a guy. I'm going to pretend it's me, made him like brown hair, whatever, black hair with a little moustache and stuff. And it's like, oh, what dick do you want?
Oh, yeah. What did you decide on? Were you realistic or were you in a fantasy world?
This is the funny part. It's like genitals. It was like penis 1 or penis 2. And there was the difference being depending on whether or not when you were a baby, you had a certain surgery.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I can say it. Circumcision. It's a podcast.
Yeah,
it's not
all
even a
good.
bad word or anything. It's just a surgery. And it's like you pick which one you want.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'll leave that up to mystery for the listeners.
Ooh.
And then it was like, what size penis do you want? Do you want it small, medium, or large?
So it's like 3 options. You can't just like extend the like slider and then it just like grows longer.
No, but you tap R1 and it's like you're on small, and you go medium, and then it like gets slightly bigger, and then you hit it again large, and it gets slightly bigger. So
That's hilarious.
yeah.
And so what'd you go with?
Well, the massive one, obviously. So, just for realism purposes, if I'm
Yeah,
going
of
to really
course.
delve into this character, we need to share some traits,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course.
He's got
mate,
the moustache and the hair.
Oh, gotta have the dick.
But that was like the small side, like I was on this amazing journey, the anime, then straight into the game and the world. But first, pick your penis. It was so funny. Hey, just quickly, just while I remember it, if you haven't played Cyberpunk yet, for example, Ellie, you were saying your partner Sam, you bought it from 2 years ago when it came out.
I did, and I, bought it for Christmas. Went to the lengths of the earth to buy it in this bloody on-trend video game that was coming out, and then he's like, "Sorry, Al, this is just kind of shit."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Everyone's slamming it online and stuff. Yeah. So tell Sam to watch Edge Runners.
Okay.
If he loves it, he'll get straight into it. And another thing too is, and you mentioned he might not want to play it because it's like 2 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Edge Runners currently is one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Wow.
It looks sick.
Okay.
It looks crazy sick. So another note too, watch Edge Runners with the English dub on it.
Oh, okay, not subtitles.
So if people that watch anime, it's like watch it with the Japanese voice acting and subtitles. Mm-hmm. The amount of stuff on screen with Edge Runners is that you like hit over the head with like the amount.
So you can't read at the same time.
No, because there's like little messages popping up, and there's even an epilepsy warning at the start of every episode. Like,
oh wow, it's intense.
It's that intense. So I started watching with Japanese, how I usually would watch something like that, and I couldn't do it. So I changed to English, but the English voice acting is excellent.
Oh, cool.
And it almost fits it better.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
watch it on English, is my advice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, do I need to ask what you're playing this week, Chris?
I'll go on then, just do it anyway.
Chris, what are you playing this week?
Pokemon Red on Game Boy. And also Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to be all over that, and I'll also be playing Helldivers 2 online with Guy.
Yes.
Because every night my wife goes to bed, I've got like an hour to play PlayStation. I jump online, then I get like are you online? Should we play Helldivers?
Oh, fun.
So I'll be doing that.
I need to join it. Maybe do you reckon I'd be good at Helldivers? I need to join these group gaming sessions, I reckon.
Is the question, will you be good at Helldivers? I think, no, to be honest, yeah, because you can change the difficulty level and stuff.
Okay.
Have
all
some
right.
sea legs.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
And we might look into that, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of sort of like ECG bonding that could be happening if I'm not playing this game with you guys.
It's like whenever Guy and I or myself and my mates play golf, and a lot of people will relate to this, you get home afterwards like, oh, you're out for 4 hours. What did you talk about? You literally just talk about golf.
Yeah, right. Oh, so you're just talking about Helldivers.
You're
There's
just
no
talking
other
about
chat.
Helldivers.
I'm not missing out on any good bonding there.
I tried to ask Guy how he was feeling, and he kind of was like, oh, yeah, I'm not too bad. Brush it off, then straight into Helldivers chat.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's not a space for like, oh, how you been, man?
Yeah,
you know?
right. So it's business only.
Yeah,
So I'm not missing
business.
out.
No.
Okay, so
You get
sweet.
incredibly punished by it.
And what am I playing this
What are
week,
you
Chris?
playing,
I
Ellie?
hear you ask.
Trackmania.
I want to play more Stardew Valley because I've been away for the last 6 days, so I actually haven't been able to play anything. Sam and I actually bought Monopoly Deal, the card game, when we
How
were
good
away.
is Monopoly Deal?
Yeah, fun. We were
is
playing that.
sick.
Yeah, I know that's not a video game, but we've been playing that. So I want to get back into me Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
That's probably it, to be honest. I'm really enjoying Stardew Valley. However, I joined the subreddit on Reddit about Stardew Valley, and of course, people are very good with hiding spoilers. So I'm not like seeing any huge spoilers, but there are things where I'm going, holy shit, am I meant to be doing that? Like it's like, yeah, so I planted all my trees in the forest, blah, 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 and I'm like, oh, I'm meant to be
don't
planting.
do that.
Oh,
Who cares? The idea of Stardew Valley, and sure, you can be like that if you want, is that you're just running your own little farm.
no,
man.
you're right. You're
Who
right.
gives a shit?
Yeah, you're right. There's no standards.
And also,
chilling.
you're not meant to be doing anything. The world is your canvas, Ellie. Oh, all right.
That's inspiring, Chris.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Sarah, have you not planted in the forest yet? Because you'll restart the game
I'm
basically.
scared. No, yeah, so I'll definitely be playing some of that. And I think, what did Guy say? He's going to be playing Helldivers.
Yeah.
And, did
And
you say
Final
anything else?
Fantasy VII, apparently. I bet he hasn't played a single second of it.
Yeah,
we could have given that code away, Guy. Now everyone listening knows how selfish Guy is.
Yes, good. He's not here to defend himself. Have a good week. If you want to watch our videos on YouTube, we have the full episodes up. You can actually see see our faces for the full 45 minutes, hello there. We're just waving at the cameras if you're watching. Watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Rate us on your podcast app, please. It really helps.
Actually, and do us a favour, would you? Tell any of your mates who like video games, send them an episode and say, hey, listen to this. We think you'll like it. Because we're trying to grow this sucker.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it so that we can eventually maybe get paid to do it.
Yeah.
And we don't want it to just stop because it's like, oh, we couldn't, so
exactly.
share it around, man.
Yes, please do. It's word of mouth is one of the strongest forms of marketing I've found. People listen more to their friends than influencers. So,
That's right.
Yeah, if you could, but if you are an influencer, please share it on your Instagram. Now we sound desperate. So we'll just leave it there. Have a great week.
Yeah.
And we'll chat next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.